Hey gang, Raghee here, and I love a chart like this. This is a 1-minute chart of Boeing. Now, why is Boeing important to us as futures traders or as any kind of trader trading something where stocks are related? Well, the broader average, the Dow, this is the #1 weighted name. I think most of you know that. And so where Boeing goes, it's going to pull or push on the Dow. So we knew that Boeing is coming into a morning where the gap down was going to be about 40 points or more. And of course, that's horrific for Boeing. I mean, that's a big move for Boeing. It's definitely going to put a dent in the Dow. And the question is, well, can we buy it, right? I mean, a lot of traders, if that's the first question they ask me, Rog, is Boeing a buy? So the first thing I did was I stepped out to the daily time frame this morning in the morning chat, the pre-market chat, and I noticed there's this giant hole in the chart right back here, otherwise known as a gap, and the support extends down to here and starts at about here. So first of all, Boeing did gap down, went gapped into a gap basically. And that's what you have right here. And by the way, this is the important side, the lower half. That's where the gap closed, right in there. So that's a major support level for sure. So that's happening on a daily, but what about understanding what's happening on a 1-minute basis? Because that's where a lot of you, if you're using my clearing range trader, thinking to yourself, well, if Boeing actually has either some sort of morning buy, whether that be the 5, whether that be the 15, or whether that be the 30, which is my favorite, so 5-minute, 15-minute, or 30-minute move, I've got something here that I can use. So bottom line, I think you've got the gist of what we're looking at here. We're looking for, 5, 15, or 30-minute breakout. And so ultimately the 30-minute clearing did trigger right in here, which is great. Take a look at 9:45. For those of you that are familiar with the 15-minute clearing range breakout, that happened right in here. So there's a lot that's going on in this chart that would tell you that Boeing's actually structurally, from a 1-minute standpoint, getting pretty darn strong, even while it's down there, as you can see from here, closing the gap. So there's a lot here to be very bullish about. And it's so easy to take the news, right, and think, oh my gosh, we want to be aware of what the news is. I mean, the news is why we were down here in the first place. China, Ethiopia, and I can't remember who else is grounding their 747 MAX 8s. Well, that's the news. We know why Boeing is the news. We know why it's moving down. And now we want price proof of either it continuing to move down or giving us an opportunity to get long, or at very least know when it's off the Dow's back, right? If I think there's going to be a move to the upside, is it off the Dow's back, right? And that's where the clearing range breakout, the 15-minute range, so this is the 30 breakout, this is the 15, and that's where it just fired off and kept right on going. Notice right here the 2 red propulsion dots after a handful of green candles taking this higher. That's like revving the throttle, that's like punching the gas, right? And you can see what happened after that. So we're bullish this morning. I love a chart like Boeing because it really does show us that when heavily weighted names, and I don't care if it's a Boeing, doesn't matter if it's a chart of Microsoft, it could be a chart of a heavily weighted name in both the XLF and the S&P, representing the financials like JP Morgan. Doesn't matter what it is. Just like we look at the clearing range on the broader averages, or even the clearing range on some of the individual sectors, we can and we do watch these on the stocks as well. So this is the kind of morning we've had. We've gotten bullish, we've stayed bullish, and I just wanted to show you this chart of Boeing because it's those kinds of what seems to be counterintuitive trades where, wait a minute, what do you mean we buy Boeing into a 40+ point gap down? Yeah, when the technicals are closing a gap and then the 1-minute charts tell you that after about 10 or 15 minutes, the buying has transitioned. I mean, take a look at this. All the red, a little bit of green and blue, but red, red, red. What happened? The bell rings. We know that there's a serious amount of opinion coming in right there at the bell. And we get the green. And by the way, we've gotten greens before, so maybe some of you are thinking, yeah, I've seen this before right in here. And it really hasn't done much. No problem. You wait. Okay, more green, more. Oh, now we get the 2 red dots. And then now we've got at least 3 to 5 green grab candles, at least 3 to 5 green propulsion dots showing the 8 and 21 cross, and this market never looked back. And it's the same type of formula with grab candles and propulsion dots that we look at in any market. So counterintuitive, but trust the price action, trade what you see, and know that the market expressed its opinion about Boeing by driving it down from 420 bucks, actually even higher than that. But we were at about 417 on the close on Friday, or 420. So the market's already expressed its opinion. And so we're still in the uncertain stage of whether this is user error or whether it's really a mechanical issue. Whatever it may be, the market has spoken, and we'll just trade in that direction. I'll see you in the next update.